My name is Ayana. I am a black woman, 24 years old, and this is not a story I ever planned to tell. But some stories are not written to impress. They are written to warn. I grew up believing that education could change everything. My mother worked tirelessly, often sacrificing comfort and sleep. She taught me that a woman's value is not in her beauty, but in her choices. When I received the acceptance letter from a university abroad, it felt like the reward for every sacrifice we had made. I left home with 2 suitcases, a student visa, and dreams that felt bigger than fear. Life abroad was exhilarating, but overwhelming. The city moved fast, the streets were crowded, and loneliness became my constant companion. At university, I attended classes diligently, absorbing every lesson I could. At night, I worked part-time, waiting tables, tutoring younger students, just to pay rent and manage daily expenses. People often noticed me, my posture, my confidence, my skin, even when I felt unsure inside. I had heard the word beautiful before, but I never imagined it could change my life in such dangerous ways. One afternoon, while leaving a campus cafe, a woman approached me. She introduced herself as a talent scout and asked if I had ever considered modeling. I laughed, half in disbelief. Modeling was a glamorous world I had only seen on screens. I was a student, not a dreamer chasing lights. But curiosity is powerful. I attended a small, professional modeling show. It was respectful, organized, and safe. I told myself it was just experience, nothing more. That night, my life quietly changed. Among the audience was a man named Richard. He was over 50, tall, composed, and clearly affluent. His presence was quiet, but commanding. He did not flirt like other men. He listened, asked about my studies, about my future, about my dreams. He complimented my intelligence, my poise, my dedication. Over time, I found myself drawn to his calm demeanor. He spoke of respect, commitment, and future partnerships in a way that felt sincere. Unlike the fleeting attention of others, Richard's words felt intentional. He often mentioned how he admired women who waited for the right person and did not rush into relationships. For me, who had always believed intimacy belonged to marriage, his respect meant everything. As days turned into weeks, our encounters became more frequent, always in public spaces, coffee shops, exhibitions, university events. He never pressured me. He listened. He reassured me. Slowly, I stopped questioning his intentions. I wanted to trust him because he made me feel safe, something I had not felt since leaving home. One evening, during a quiet conversation, Richard said something that resonated deeply. At this stage of my life, I don't want temporary people. If I get close to someone, it's because I see her as my wife. My heart fluttered. I wanted stability. I wanted emotional safety. I wanted to believe him. Modeling became a more regular part of my life. Professional photos, introductions to events, exposure. People assumed I was thriving, but behind the glamour, I was becoming dependent, emotionally, not financially. Then came the night that would leave me forever changed. I had never been with a man before, not out of fear, but because I believed intimacy required commitment. That night, I asked him quietly, Are you serious about me? He looked at me, calmly. Why would I lie to you? He said. Those words felt like a vow. It was not desire driving me. It was trust. It was belief. It was hope. I allowed myself to be vulnerable for the first time, thinking our bond represented a future together. But reality can be cruel. After that night, things subtly shifted. He remained polite, cordial, even caring, but the warmth I had relied on diminished. His messages became brief, attention weakened. The future he had promised slowly disappeared from our conversations. Marriage, once discussed, was no longer mentioned. I blamed myself. Perhaps I had misunderstood. Perhaps I had expected too much. Perhaps my emotions were clouding my judgment. Then, one day, the silence arrived. No calls, no messages, no explanation. Richard disappeared, as if I had never existed. It was then that the full weight of betrayal struck. I was not a partner. I was not a future. I was an experience. The pain was not only emotional, it was personal. I realized I had given something sacred to someone who never intended to protect it. I withdrew into myself. The city felt colder, the streets longer, loneliness heavier. Yet, amidst the pain, I found strength. I returned to my studies, worked tirelessly, and gradually rebuilt my independence. Every assignment completed, I understood the lesson hidden within my suffering. Beauty and opportunity can attract people with good intentions and dangerous motives alike. Trust is precious, and giving it blindly can have consequences. But pain also brings wisdom. By the end of my program, I had transformed. I still carried scars, but I had cultivated an inner strength that no man, no failure could take away. When I look in the mirror now, I see not just beauty, but wisdom, resilience, and survival. This story is not about modeling. It is about power, trust, and the fragile intersection of ambition and vulnerability. Not every calm voice is honest. Not every promise is real. And not every person who talks about marriage will stay. Some lessons arrive late, but even when they do, they are invaluable.